Welcome into another edition of the Josh Caray Show. Coming up in this next episode, you'll hear from Trash Pandas outfielder Elijah Dunham, who's in his first season with the Angels organization after several years with the Yankees. In this episode, he talks about being a father, his college days at Indiana, and what he hopes to accomplish for the rest of his baseball career. All right, well, Elijah, first off, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and where did you grow up?
Yeah, I'm from Evansville, Indiana. Grew up there my whole life. Ended up playing college ball at IU, Indiana University. Go Hoosiers, by the way, national champs.
Yeah.
Went there, and then, got signed. Got drafted my sophomore year by the Pirates late. Didn't take it. Went back to school. Unfortunately, COVID hit my junior year. And my agent thought it'd be a good thing to go ahead and get into pro ball because that's always been my dream, is to be a professional baseball player. And then now we're here with the Angels, and that was in 2020. And so still been grinding, still been chasing the dream. So
yeah, there's a lot to unpack. I know you just made that very quick, but there's so much about your career that's worth delving into. Let's just start with this. Growing up, where would you say you got your athleticism from? And I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. Mom or dad?
I probably have to say my mom, but it honestly it wasn't a huge trait in the family. We kind of I tell this to a lot of people. When I was in the 6th grade, I'd always tell my dad I wanted to be a professional baseball player, and I was the slowest kid on the team. My dad would actually pinch run for me in games, when the run was crucial, and he told me that if he sat me down, he's like, son, you say you want to be a professional baseball player, but you don't take care of arguably your biggest asset, which is your body. He said, you eat what you want. Again, I'm in the 6th grade. I just eat what mom has in the pantry. And he actually sent me to these agility classes. And so I did them for years, all the way up until high school. And then that's when I started coming in within my body and being a good athlete. Ended up playing 3 sports in high school, successful in all 3. And but it really, I don't know if it was a genetic trait, but I think it was more so my dad being brutally honest with me back when I was in the 6th grade. So
well, obviously it had to work, because here's the deal. You look at your power numbers, your home runs, your RBI. I think before your Achilles injury, you could run. I mean, you could run really, really well. And so obviously the speed wound up catching up. How much of a fire did that light under you? Yeah,
it definitely did a ton. And you are right. Before I ruptured my Achilles, I took pride in how many bases I can steal, and I still can at times, but definitely not the same runner where it didn't matter. I gotta get Skip to stop giving me the red light over there so I can show him. Shout out Skip. But it's more now that if I do get the chance to go, it has to be, the times have to be right. It's a lot. The Achilles definitely affected the speed for sure. But yeah, it was all for my dad lighting that fire under me, saying you want to be a professional baseball player, the first thing they look at is athleticism. Usually you don't see a lot of guys at this level that at some point in their career didn't have a base of really good athleticism.
Your parents, we already talked about your father a little bit, but what did they do? What was their calling in life? Yeah,
so my dad, he started a small business when I was really young, and my mom has just been a stay-at-home mom my entire life, and so we kind of jumped around. When I was little, small business didn't really start off super hot, and then it ended up growing into something really big, and dad ended up selling the company, and then he took some time off, and then he just became an athletic director, and now he's in a different phase of business with a couple of donut shops we have down in Texas.
How about that?
Yeah.
So in Texas, let's go ahead and give them a shout out. Tell me the donut places. What are they?
It's Parlor Donuts. Yeah.
Okay.
We franchised them, so it's not our original thought, but it's something that started in my hometown in Evansville, and we thought it was a great idea, and then we brought it to Texas.
Holy smoke. I want to say there are a couple of Parlor Donuts in Alabama. Have you all expanded to Alabama?
Yeah, I think corporate has over 100 stores now. So
wow.
And we were the first franchise. So that's something that, speak on the Achilles, when I was rupturing my Achilles coming back, I worked in the shop the entire time. I also did construction, just trying to make ends meet, while I was – because it was hard to go get a real job, when I knew that I still have the desire to play. So
sure.
It's hard to go into an interview and, if for a real job and be like, hey, I only have 5 months and then I'm chasing my dream. So kind of working at the shops was huge. My parents having that ability and us having that resource for me to work there, doing construction, it definitely helped during that tough year of 2025.
Just as you're going through high school, when did you first realize that, hey, I got something a little different from the rest of the kids my age when it comes to baseball, at least?
Yeah, I don't really know if that happened in baseball for me because in high school, like I had more athleticism, yes, but when it came to like the actual baseball instincts, I really like my brother actually hit better than me in high school, and he will never let me live it down average wise. It was more so because he played carefree because he was going to play football at Yale, and I was going to IU committed since I was a freshman in high school, so I kind of played with like I have to go try and make stuff happen, which ultimately made me worse in high school. So it really wasn't until college that I felt like I came into myself as a baseball player when I realized that like the more I try to achieve this, the more that I rely on my own effort, the worse I am because I'm trying to do things that I'm trying to do too much instead of staying within myself. So in high school, and honestly, it was kind of rough because I was supposed to be this mega baseball player, and it really wasn't the case if you go look at my high school stats. I was honestly better at football than I was baseball because football for me was just fun, and like my brother, baseball for him was just fun. So that's kind of how it worked out in high school.
Well, did you think about maybe just doing football in college, and were you being recruited by anyone?
I wasn't being recruited. I had my high school coaches were convinced that I could walk on at IU and play baseball, but our baseball coach at IU was not about that. He didn't let a guy named Cal Kruger, who was the Indiana State kicker, like he was the best kicker. He actually beat me in the playoffs, kicking a 50-yard field goal to knock us out. And he didn't let him play both ways, so I didn't even ask the question. I didn't even entertain the thought because I knew I loved baseball, but I never entertained that thought of trying to do both.
Sounds like you were a Hoosier from the time you were a real little kid. What is that the case? And let's just go ahead and ask the question. How does it feel to be a national champion in football?
Oh, it's one of the biggest, if you don't know anything about Indiana football, when I was there, we were a 500 team at best. It was, you go to the halftime, by halftime, then you're leaving, every game. And I would go to every game just because I loved football. And I think that's one of the biggest miracles in sports, what Cignetti's done, turning that program around. And my parents went to IU, they graduated from IU, and then I get to go there. So it's been in the blood for forever. My grandparents are Hoosiers fans. It just runs down the line. And that right there was one of I'll never forget that moment, watching the whole Hoosiers run, they're winning, they keep winning, they keep going. It's is this going to keep happening? And they just keep doing it all the way to the end. So that was one of the best moments as a sports fan for me was the Hoosiers win the national title.
So I know we're staying off of baseball for a moment, but I got to ask, and I'm showing my age a little bit, Bobby Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Would you want your kids playing for him?
Oh, I know that in today's world that might be a no, but kind of how I grew up, yes, I would love that because you'd have to learn to deal with some adversity. The coach is not he's especially growing up, that's how my dad was. That's how a lot of the coaches were that I grew up playing because I played a lot of sports. And I think once you realize that they're doing it for what's best for you, it helps you learn not only how to handle a coach-player relationship, but also any person relation. If you can understand how to deal with someone just getting on your butt, and understand how to handle that and not freak out, panic, go into a crying mode, I feel like it develops some grit. So absolutely, I would love my kids and my future sons to play for Bobby Knight. Absolutely.
So I got to ask you, being in Indiana, if Texas, Alabama, Georgia is the football capital of America, I got to think Indiana is the basketball capital. Did you ever try basketball? Were you a good basketball player too?
Yeah, I played all 4 years. I played basketball. Actually made it to state in the highest class of basketball. I played with Drew Smith, who's an NBA player now with the Heat. So I was fortunate. I was never the guy on the team, but I was fortunate to have some roles with some really good basketball players, and it made it so fun. There's nothing better than the regional and Seymour 15,000 fans, playing against Romeo Langford, who went on to be an NBA player. So basketball has some of my favorite memories as well.
So going to Indiana, and I know you were a Hoosier growing up, but let's be candid. Big Ten baseball, playing in the cold for 2/3 of the year. Was there any thought about, I don't know if this is right, maybe I need to go somewhere south? What was it about Indiana other than your passion for that campus that made you want to go there and stick through the Big Ten?
Yeah, so it's funny you bring that up because my travel ball coach was telling me this before, like, hey, like if you go to the Big Ten, it's gonna be cold. And I'm like, I played football in 5-degree weather. Like, what's gonna be different with baseball? And I committed as a freshman in high school to Indiana. They were my first offer. I got them in Louisville in like back-to-back days. I call Indiana the next day. I'm like, I want to go here. I've always wanted to come here. This is where I want to play. And it wasn't until we're playing Iowa and on a weekend series, and it's 30-degree weather. And our coach at the time wouldn't let us wear thermals. So I'm sitting there in like this loose leaf shirt underneath my jersey, and the Iowa has a big time name. I don't know who it was at the now, but it's throwing like 94, 95 in the blistering cold. It's snowing, and that was the only moment where I'm like, wow, maybe I should have gone somewhere south. Like I should have listened to my travel ball coach. So it definitely took a toll on me, but I think it helped me because early in my career I was with the Yankees, and we were in the Northeast. So I think it did. God kind of worked it out to where, I was getting prepared to play baseball in the cold, not knowing that eventually I would play most of my minor league career with the Yankees playing in the Northeast. So I think it did work out.
Well, with all that said, let's face it, here in the South, we're all about the SEC. Playing against SEC schools at times in your career, how big of a difference in talent is there, or is that maybe more of a media thing that's overblown?
I definitely think it's a little bit of the media, but I do think there is definitely a little bit of a difference when it comes to pitching. So, like when we opened up against LSU my COVID year, and I think it was Cole Henry who ended up being a second or first rounder out of LSU, and it was like at the time that was just different. Like I haven't seen that type of stuff yet, but as we rolled into the next two games, I thought it kind of evened out with the pitching that they were bringing in. But I'll definitely say like the top pitching that at least when I played, I can't speak for it now. I haven't followed too much college baseball, but the Friday guys were always a little different than the Friday guys you were seeing in the Big Ten, unless you ran into a really good Big Ten arm that ended up being a big prospect. It was just the consistency when we'd go down the SEC. The Friday night guys were good. Like Friday night guys were legit dudes, first through third rounders. It was like you're gonna have to scratch some runs by. But as you fell deeper into the week, I felt like it kind of was like, okay, this is something we've seen all the time.
You get through Indiana, and well, before you get through Indiana, like you said, you were drafted by the Pirates. Here's what's unique about that. This was 2019. It's the final year of the 40-round draft, and you were drafted in the 40th round. I can understand your decision to return, but that being said, when you heard that minor league baseball was contracting the draft from 40 to 20, did you start to have regrets at all? What was kind of your feeling when you heard that was coming down the pike?
Yeah, so especially I was going during the COVID year. So at first they're like, okay, we're going to go to 20 rounds. And, after conversations with my agent, I was like, okay, I'm still good. Like I'll make it into that draft. Like we'll be fine. It wasn't until they cut it to 5 that year, the COVID year. That's when it was more like I still had calls on draft day. So it was more going to be a Hail Mary type of thing. Like it would have to be like a team didn't get who they wanted, and I would fall into that 5th round. And I got 2 calls. It ended up not happening. I remember sitting at my house after the calls, and it was gut-wrenching. Didn't happen. But, yeah, it really did suck for, a guy like me who I'm very confident if it was even 10 rounds that I would have fallen in somewhere in there. So definitely hurt me in my career of, at least financially. But God's got a plan, and we're here now, and we're still playing. So a lot of guys that I started with are done, and they got to make their own decisions. But I take pride in still going. So
well, you're still going, and here's what's so funny about it: you wind up being signed by one of the premier sports organizations in all of America, and that's the New York Yankees. Now, I think it's safe to say if you follow the NBA. The NBA is great, but there's something different about the Knicks, the Celtics, the Lakers. I think in baseball, there's something a little different about, say, the Yankees, the Cubs, maybe the Red Sox, teams like that. Is it different being a New York Yankee, even at the minor league level? Is it just a different vibe to that organization?
I will say so. Like you take pride in being. When I was there, it was a culture thing. Like we're in the New York Yankees. Like we take pride in it. I was still there when we had to shave our face and stuff. So it was another element to it, which I kind of liked. Like I liked that it was different, and it kind of was something we did from a culture standpoint. But yeah, it's definitely different. I feel like because I played with some big prospects, Volpe, Spencer Jones, Dominguez, Wells, like all those guys. It's like they're in WAAY, and they got a slew of media and a slew of autographs, like, everywhere they go. So I definitely think that it like you said, like, it's a premier organization, and fans are following all the way from the beginning, not just at the Yankee level, all the way down to WAAY. So I definitely think it's a little different.
When you went to the Arizona Fall League one year, you were named a breakout all-star. Did you feel like at that point that you had arrived as a professional baseball player, being a guy who was a 40th round pick and who wasn't drafted? Did you feel like you had overcome the odds when you accomplished that?
I did. I was playing really good ball in that league, seeing it well. You're getting big league batter's eye wherever you go. I could see the ball really well. I did think that it was kind of a huge milestone for me, like, kind of being a very underrated prospect at that time, and then having that breakout season with the Fall League. And then after that, it never clicked for me after that, like, getting back to that guy. And and that's what we're still trying to do, still trying to get to that guy, still trying to find him in here, because I know he is, and it's just it's a matter of time. So,
well, yeah, we talked earlier about your ruptured Achilles. So, I mean, you had grinded out, I guess, 4 or 5 years with the Yankees, putting up solid numbers. Tell us about the injury. How did it happen, and where did it happen? Yeah,
so I was at Texas working in the off season at my family donut shop, and this was after the 2024 season. I'm building up. Just started doing sprints like a month ago, trying to get ready to go for the season. And I'm running sprints, and I go to take off. I have like a sled that I put weight on. I take off, and I feel like a cinder block got dropped on my calf. Like, I genuinely thought someone ran out and just kicked me in where I was at running them. And I knew, I was like, this is bad. Like, I don't know what it is, but this is bad. And ended up calling the Yankees. They get me set up to go get an MRI, go get scanned. It's ruptured completely off, like completely torn. So they give me surgery, and then a week after surgery, I'm sitting with my foot up in the couch, and I'm kind of like, being honest, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, are they going to send me to Florida to rehab? Like, my wife's asking me this when we have our daughter, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I get a call from the Yankees, and they're releasing me. And so basically I had to rehab on my own after that, and started working construction. And then once I got back down to Texas, when I could start because I rent my house out during the year. So I was at home while my house was getting rent out. I was at my wife's parents' house, working construction for her dad's construction company. And then once our renters got out of our house for the season, moved back down to Texas, working at the donut shop until ended up playing winter ball in Puerto Rico and getting signed to come here.
Well, did you think, though, with the injury and being released and knowing how long that takes, you got a family and you got construction, you got the donut shop, you got all these things, was there a thought of maybe it's just time to move on?
Yeah, absolutely. That was something I was battling with a lot, because in the middle of all this, I found out my wife's also pregnant again for our second kid. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, it was a time where I was I'm talking to the Lord, I'm talking to my parents, I'm praying about it, and I'm just like, I felt like the Lord was telling me to keep going. Like, keep going. Don't let the story end now. And I don't know where the story's going, but I felt like genuinely in my heart the Lord was saying, give it one more shot. Like, don't let this be the end of it. And so I just stuck with it, and I have an amazing wife that was all about it, like wanted me to keep pursuing my dream. But those thoughts were heavy, like really heavy, especially, what people don't tell you is when you can't work and the mortgage still comes,
yes.
the bills still come. Like, it doesn't matter if you get hurt, like it's you still got to work. And so, I'm sitting there, I'm getting the mortgage bill, and it's somehow the Lord was always making it work, always making it somehow we're right there. Like we're breaking even. It's like I'm not going into debt. I'm breaking even every time. And it was it was honestly a sign that it was like, all right, like I don't know how this is working, but the Lord's making it work for me to keep going. And so that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
Before I talk about your move now to the Angels, you mentioned this. You spent a lot of time in the Puerto Rican Winter League. And a lot of people don't know this, for the Latin players especially. They take sometimes, I think, more pride in that than they do playing for their major league team, because there's now a national association with that. Just how good is the baseball down there, and how competitive is it?
Oh, it's so competitive. The Puerto Rico, this last offseason, my second time in winter ball. So I played in Venezuela in between my 2022 and 2023 season. I played there. I was playing under Carlos Mendoza, who is now the big league manager for the Mets. So he was the bench coach with the Yankees. So he got me hooked up there, played down there, and it's a different game. Like it's not, and it's not for every American. Let me put it that way. It is. They take it seriously. One move that you make maybe on accident might cause the other team to want to fight you, and they're throwing at you. And it's just like you said. It's sometimes you're wondering, like, do these guys like this game down here more than they do in the States? Like, because they do. They take pride. It's in front of their families, in front of their friends, and it's really good. It's really competitive. And if you make the playoffs, man, it is a sold out crowd playing. You're playing in front of 30 to 40,000 people, and it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. I'm so happy that I got to do it.
So now you're picked up by the Angels. They give you a second chance. You go through spring training and do the drills and all those things. And you find out you're coming to Rocket City. Now, let's keep in mind you've already spent some time at AAA with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Were you a little, I guess, frustrated that maybe you didn't get the chance to go to AAA?
No, not really. I understood the boat that I'm in right now. I'm not a prospect anymore. I like to say there's prospects and there's suspects, and I'm more towards the suspect side. Maybe trying just fighting, just trying to hang in there, doing everything we can. And I kind of understood that. I'm just thankful to be back in the game. Like I even told my wife, like, I'll go to rookie ball just to play again, just to play the game, like be done working a normal construction in the donut shop. So coming in the spring, I was like, my goal is just to make a team. I don't care what team it is. All I want to do is just make a team, get to an affiliate, and then go from there. And so when I got assigned to Rocket City, I wasn't mad in any bit. Yeah, I have time in AAA, but at the same time, being in AA is better than being on a construction site. Being in AA is better than working in the back of a donut shop at 4 a.m. So that's my perspective with it.
Well, and just so people know, and I don't know, you tell me, is there really that much of a difference between double and AAA?
I know data, like a lot of people that dive in the numbers say there is, but from just a player perspective, I don't think so. I think at this level that we're at with AA and AAA, it's all mental. The stuff you're seeing is pretty much the same stuff. Like, again, I've never been the big, so that could be a whole different realm. But I think at the AA and AAA level, I think it's you're facing maybe guys that are a little more fine-tuned, like with pitchability, which they're true pitchers versus throwers. But I think if you can stick to your plan, like mentally, be ready to go, be aggressive to the zones you're hunting, I think it's all the same from there.
You don't have to sugarcoat anything. This is a genuine question. Rocket City, where does this rank in terms of all the places you've been playing baseball?
Oh, I don't got to sugarcoat it. I've been in the Northeast, the Eastern League, and I know they've done some remodeling since I was there, but compared to that league, this league has been a blessing. Like I started. I'll never forget. We're starting in like Portland, Maine, in April or early May, one of the two, and it's 40 degrees. It's 35 degrees playing in Portland, Maine, and the stadiums are nice, like fans are good and everything, but just the weather alone, like I'd much rather it be what we're getting here in Rocket City with the fans and the stadium. It's been awesome.
You've already been on the dev list one time. You've been more or less a bench player at times this year. Now you're starting to see a little more regular action. How do you feel you're coming back from the Achilles, playing back in affiliated ball, now getting to see some regular playing time? How do you feel where you are right now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot. I mean, I can't complain. It's no secret. When I was coming off the dev list, I was hitting 135 or with 400 OPS, and I'm not a huge stat guy, but that's what it was. I had 3 weeks to just look at that line, knowing that that's what I had done so far. So, where I'm at now, I feel like it's been very good from where I was, and I think if I can continue to do what I've been doing since getting off the dev list, I think we can continue getting the playing time, continue to give myself a shot to move up and give a shot for our team to win a championship.
Well, I appreciate your time. Before I let you go, I just got 3 more smaller questions I want to ask you. First off, other than making the majors, what else do you want to accomplish with your baseball career?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I've thought about this a lot. Like, obviously, want to make it to the league. And for this goal that I'm about to say to happen, it helps having service time, being in the bigs. Like, that can prolong your career a lot. But I've always just wanted to be one of the last guys standing from my class, like in 2020. I've always said, man, if I can play till I'm 30, like, that's a successful career, not even if it's in the bigs. Like, I love this game. Like, I love hitting. I love getting in the box and competing. And if I can, play till I'm in my 30s, it's like, man, like this game I did a lot. Like I'm not saying if the career ended tomorrow, I would be disappointed, but that's always just kind of been a goal for me. I'm 28, and I'm like, if I can keep playing, it's just as long as I can play. If that's until I'm 30, then it's like, you know what, I fought. I gave it a good shot. I got 10, that'd be for my whole 20s. I've been playing a game I love, and because you can't take money to the grave with you. You can't take possessions, and so it's like I'm spending the time on earth doing something I love, and if I can say I did that from my whole entire 20s, I think that'd be a successful goal of mine.
When it comes to baseball, what's your proudest accomplishment?
Proudest accomplishment coming to baseball, man. Because I have a WAAY championship with the Yankees. That was up there. Won a Big Ten regular season title. Yeah, that's tough for me. My biggest. I'd run it back to Little League. So Little League, we were a game from Williamsport. We were in the regionals on ESPN, and I'd say the biggest accomplishment was winning the state, getting all the way to the final game before going to Williamsport, and lose it. We lost to Kentucky or Ohio. We lost to Ohio. But I'd say that run, I still like think about that sometimes. Like I'll go back and reminisce on old photos. So I'd say like I know it's just Little League, but man, those were my neighbors, and we just all came together in a backyard, and we put on a run to make it to Williamsport. So I definitely say that would be one of my biggest accomplishments.
You mentioned this earlier. You're the father of 2 little girls, one of them a newborn. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That being said, what's it like hearing Dad?
Oh, it's there's nothing like it. Like it doesn't. I've been telling the guys this, man. I go 0 for 4 with 4 punchies. Hopefully it ain't gonna happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened yet, but you know how it could happen. And it doesn't matter what happens in the game. I come off the field and I hear Dada. It's like this game doesn't mean that much. It's like I get to take care of them. I get to be with them and love them. And there's nothing like it in the world than hearing your daughter or son. I don't have a son, but my daughter saying Dada. It takes every trouble away for that little moment, and I just want to squeeze them and hug them.
Final question. One day, and you've already talked about it, this will all come to an end as a player. When your playing career is over, what do you see yourself doing?
I don't know, because I thought about it a long time last year. I had a lot of time to think about, man, what the heck am I going to do now? I honestly don't know. To this moment, that's why I feel like I'm still doing what I should be doing, because I feel like if I knew what I wanted to do exactly after, I probably shouldn't be doing this game, and we'll have when that day happens, when I get the call into the office that, hey, you're done and no one else will sniff me, then I'll have time to think about it. So I believe that whatever that is, that I can be successful at anything I do. So we'll see when that day comes.
Awesome, man.
Hey,
great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, partner.
Good work. Thank you.
Yeah. And we'll have this. And again, that is Trash Pandas outfielder Elijah Dunham. Thank you for tuning in. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.